G'day everyone, Duckville here, bringing you some Heart of the Swarm action. We've got another TvP featuring the one and only, our red Terran up the top right hand side of Star Station. It is Goody from ESC. Of course, the CJherO will be probably bringing out his mech skills yet again, but his foe here today is going to be a very strong, powerful Protoss player from the Kesper scene in Korea. It is CJherO. And he'll be starting down in the bottom left-hand side. Diagonal positions, always good for a long macro game. Of course, this game is taken from Goody's recently released replay pack that was over on the ESC Gaming website, so you can jump on there and check that out yourself if you want to see some of these replays. There are some really good games in there. Thought I'd cast a few. It is pretty early in the morning. It's like 9 o'clock here in the city, in Australia, sorry, in the city. I thought I'd cast these pretty early because it's going to be a hot day. I think it's going to be like 35 degrees or something like that here. That's in Celsius. If you're in the US or the Bahamas or Cayman Islands or whatever, it's in Fahrenheit. I think that's like 95 Fahrenheit. Something like that, so it's going to be a pretty hot day here. My computer doesn't like the heat, so I can't cast these later, so what I'm going to do is do them now, and, you know, then leave the rest of the day for sitting around trying not to die when I melt. So, at PvT, of course, you know, a lot of players like to bring out those oracles right at the start. You can utilize them to jump into mineral lines, get some really fast damage done. A lot of players have really been trying out things like proxy stargates in this particular matchup. Of course, this would be an interesting play on this map, just given the ridiculously large size of this map. You've of course got your relatively simple sort of natural here, nice little place to wall in if need be, if you're in a particular matchup where you need to wall off. Then there are things like you could take a third base over here, just on top of that nice little artwork there. There is also a possibility of taking a third here, depending on what you know, the matchup and how confident you feel in defending this position. You know, this is also commonly used as a fourth. We've then got a couple of Xel'Naga watchtowers spread throughout the map on the left, the bottom, and also just on the sorry, that was the right before. This is the left, just in case you were playing the home game of Does Duckfield Know Directions. Another one up the top. All of these providing a little bit of vision on some of the various attack paths on the map, and well, we'll see how these guys utilize those. Goody is going to scout through, sees the cyber core, wants to see is there a second gas? Yes, there is. So he does know that there could be something a little fishy coming out of Hero today, but he'll obviously have to check. There is that extra pylon. You always want, like, this is something which became a very big sort of thing in Brood War. Sort of in the later stages when Brood War was really mapped out, was players would often check. You'd say, alright, how many pylons are in here? I've got to be careful. Does this guy have his second pylon somewhere else? Or is the third pylon, or is the fourth pylon somewhere else? You got to be careful of these things to keep an eye on the possibility of your opponent doing some sort of proxy tech. Now, the SCV has escaped. Of course, the Zealot not fast enough to catch up, and he didn't get any punches on that SCV before he was able to escape. First Stalker is out as well, and as we just saw before, there is going to be a Stargate from Hero, so there will be some airbase tech coming out of him right at the start. The mothership core now heading across the map. There are a couple of Hellions that have gone out here from Goody, and I think given that, yeah, he's actually going to get down here with the SCV, blocks off the natural expansion there with that engineering bay, and I think that Goody is, well, you know, this Stalker's going to take some shots on this supply depot, but the big question is, how much damage will these Hellions get? They're now inside the main base here. 1, maybe 2 kills in total. Yep, just 2, and I think that'll probably be it. Nope, grabs a couple more, takes it up to around about 5 there. Very nicely done. Of course, back at home for Goody, he did have a little bit of trouble with that Stalker wandering up to the front door. Widowmine burrows, takes a shot, and bam, down goes the Stalker. So both players getting a little bit of pressure done. I think Goody is pretty much the winner out of this situation, given that he was able to get those 5 worker kills. His worker count at the moment sitting up at 23. So, you know, in a stage where you're against the Protoss, if you can get ahead at this sort of stage already, and not to mention block off their natural expansion, then you're gonna be quite happy about that sort of situation. So Goody opening up quite nicely here in this game. What is coming out of Hero? Where is the... Okay, there is the Oracle. I was gonna say, Where is that air presence that we're expecting out of him? He does have an Oracle now journeying across the map, is going to get inside the main base. What defense does Goody have? Basically nothing. 2 Marines, there are a reactor with the racks on it at the moment, but I don't think that's going to be too much, but there is a Widow Mine. Down goes the Oracle. Very nicely done. You have to be extremely careful when using a Widow Mine inside a mineral line. These guys, of course, do splash damage, which then splashes 40 damage onto nearby units. This, of course, includes your own SCVs. So I did like that perfect pullback there from Goody to get them not only out of danger of the Oracle, but also out of danger when it came to the Widow Mine as well. So very nicely done by Goody there. I really like his reaction so far. He's done a fantastic job. Not only that, he's seen now that the expansion has gone down from Hero, so it's not going to be a crazy one-base play coming out of our Kesper Protoss. He's going to play a reactive style, though. With the Robo now done, he's going to be able to get out a couple of observers. Going to take a peek at what Goody is up to. We'll see that there will be a few Marines out, well, quite a few Marines out. In fact, with the reactor there, there are going to be a couple of tanks as well. The expansion is going to go down very soon. The orbital now switching over and all done for the natural. And he's actually... Wait, is he not going to... I'm a little bit surprised that he hasn't actually just gone straight out with that, because, I mean, he's got some really good defense now. We got a couple of Widow Mines protecting the various, you know, exposed portions of his base, not to mention the first Oracle is already dead, so, you know, it's highly unlikely that there's going to be too many more after that. But, you know, just a little bit surprised that he hasn't just gone out to take the natural, given that his opponent has already taken his. That's almost up and running. And, well, Hero is just going to try and transition normally. He's gone up to 3 gates in total. We do... Where is it? Down here. The Robo Bay is just on the way, just under halfway done, so that's going to come up soon. And now that he has seen what's going on, he sees the tank, sees that there is another factory here, it's going to be highly likely that Goody is going to go for a mech play here. So Hero will be able to prepare adequately based on that. Of course, we mentioned, you know, we've mentioned in another cast of Goody versus Rain. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check that out. That you know, utilizing you know, Robo with Immortals and these kinds of things is a good way to deal with mech play. Of course, you can throw in Tempest, you can throw in the Vikings, of course, as well. And now, as we can see, Hero is going to pick up his 3rd and 4th gas and really get his economy started. He's currently sitting on 39 probes right now, really boosting that up as quickly as he can to get his economy going. And, you know, we probably will want to see him move over to take a 3rd base very quickly. It's, you know, it's a good way to take advantage of a mech-based player, is to say, look, you can't really move out until, you know, you're at least 100 supply, maybe 150, and then even then, a lot of players won't move out until they're 200 supply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 3rd base very quickly, may even take a 4th base very quickly, and just try and establish that economy before you get a little bit too out of control. And that's, you know, that's one thing which we do like to see out of the Protoss players in this. We also like to see them abusing the mobility of mech. So we'll keep an eye on whether Hero is going to do something like that. Of course, he may try and use a Warp Prism, perhaps some Blink Stalkers. These kinds of things are all good ways to deal with mech, just due to the fact that it is so slow. But Hero, for now, interestingly, he did see the double factory. I'm a little bit surprised, but he's going up to the Colossus and getting a couple of them out. We've got one already done, an Immortal following suit. There will be extended thermal lance as well. I just kind of feel like this sort of investment, after you've seen that a player is quite likely going for mech, is perhaps a little bit short-sighted. You really want to get this 3rd base established as quick as possible. But we'll see. I mean, he's Hero, and, you know, I'm just me. I'm not actually in Pro League now. Not right now, you know, who knows, maybe. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. Of course, Goody now going up, getting his mech really kick-starting right now. We've got a total of 5 factories out. 2 of them have got their the tech labs, 1 with a reactor. This means that he'll be able to get out quite a lot of Hellions, of course, the Widow Mines if need be. You know, in some of the replays in this pack, I haven't really seen him using Widow Mines too much. It's sort of been more just the Hellbats, just the Thors, and a few tanks interspersed at various times. So, you know, we'll see how he goes here. The only real mech play that I've seen lately that has used quite a lot of Widow Mines is actually Thorzane. If you check out Thorzane versus STZero, that is a really good game to see Widow Mines used to their greatest effect, of course, in a very turtling sort of style. You know, we'll see if that comes into play at all here in this game. It looks like the Double Forge is now spinning, of course, with +1 armor and +1 weapons. We've also got the units of HሔRO starting to push around, trying to just, you know, clear out some of the map. He's got a decent amount of vision, of course, with the watchtower here has been taken, so he can see all that goes on around there. The observer just in this middle section is also giving him a lot of sight, as well as the other the Xel'Naga watchtower on the left side. So he's, you know, got a lot of vision. He will be able to see that Goody is perhaps getting across to his third base right as of now. The orbital has already dropped down, getting some mules rolling, and going to get the fifth and the sixth gas going as well, which is a really good way to help really boost up that amount of production that you can use as the mech player. He's now starting to bring out a couple of Thors. We've got, where is it? Oh, it's not moving to it. This, the new production tab, I didn't actually notice this previously. If you click on stuff, it actually takes you to the building where it is, and you can see exactly what's going on. Even if it's a building itself, so like I can click on this Nexus, it shows me where it is. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Blizz, for that, because that's pretty awesome to have. So HሔRO now starting to really get his supply going up at 123. He's got his upgrades also on the way. Charge just about done. Level 2 armor also on the way with level 2 weapons. But Goody sitting here with 153 supply, looking very nice right now. He's got some Widow Mines at the front. We've got a lot of tanks here as well. Vikings up in the sky, and it looks like he may go for a push. He's up at 167 supply now. We're continually seeing these units coming out. He's trying to push across, I think, with the timing of +1 weapons, which would be quite nice. But, you know, does he have enough to deal with the army of HሔRO? We'll have to see in just a moment. It looks like we've got 2 Colossi, we've got 2 Immortals, a whole bunch of Zealots now on the ground as well, along with some Stalkers. And Goody is definitely going to try and at least try and take out either the army, like really reduce this army of HሔRO, or get some of this base. If he can get some of these gates, some of the workers that might be here, he'll be in a very happy position right now. But the push is on the way. Marines, Hellbats, there are a few tanks there as well, along with the Vikings, able to take down the mothership core very quickly. They're very nicely done by Goody. But we do have all these Zealots on the ground with charge. The Hellbats at the front, Marines there as well. Looks like Goody is just going for it right here, right now. He's sieged up to the back. Some of the tanks are unfortunately not able to get too much damage done. But, I mean, he's taken down one of the Colossi, most of the ground units here, and it looks like HሔRO is going to continue to push back. I'm not sure whether this was the best way to sort of push across here from Goody. Surprising to see him just get pretty much smashed there. I wouldn't say it was a complete victory to HሔRO, but it was a lot of damage that was done there. And we do see Goody just pulling back now with his tail between his legs for the moment, down to 131 supply, so he's by no means dead right now, but it's a little bit unfortunate to use such a high-priced army right at the start there. But we still will see him in the supply lead at the moment against his opponent, up at 75 workers. Goody's worker production has been off the charts right now. Really, really do like how he's been going with that. He's looking to get a 4th base as well. A couple of Hellions now just pushing through the left side of the map, trying to find out, does HሔRO have that 4th base? Is he going for it? Does he have it? And he's already up at a really nice worker income and all that kind of stuff. Not at the moment. HሔRO still just sort of sitting back on 3 bases, not really looking to get too much harassment done. He is teching back at home. This is the reason why. We've spent a lot on +3 weapons, +3 armor as well, along with Storm, of course. We can see that the Templar Archive is picking up that Storm. Blanket Charge all done. We've also got a couple more Immortals on the way. So HሔRO is really going to get his tech going. He's really trying to take advantage of, instead of taking advantage of the mech player by sort of abusing the immobility or the fact that he won't really attack too soon, what HሔRO has done is just said, alright, balls to the wall, let's get all the tech out and make sure that everything is available here. And it looks like he does have a little bit of harassment going there with some of these Zealots now warping in. Unfortunately, with a couple of Hellbats there, not too much is going to happen in terms of that harassment, but the battle is already on in the middle section here. It looks like Goody was already sieged up, some harassment going down, but you know, not enough damage here for HሔRO. He's got to deal with the tanks at the back. They've got their +1/1 upgrades on them right now. The Hellbats also at the front. If they can catch that Archon, oh boy, that is on 48 health, 48 shields along with 10 health. That is not too long before that guy dies. But HሔRO will be forced back, and Goody now sitting on 4 bases, mining quite nicely. We'll see if CJherO is able to get his own bases established. It looks like he is going to go for the 4th very soon as well. The probe just heading down there, going to get that Nexus planted and get started with that 4th. As I said, I would really love to see him take another base very quickly here. Goody is, well, he's up at 163 supply. There's still at least another 2 minutes maybe before Goody decides to push again. And, you know, he is probably going to also throw down a few orbital commands through extra CCs, I should say, very soon, because his SCV count is really nice, 81, but that's a little bit too much at this point. And there you go, the command center explosion is probably going to start very soon after this. But he's a little bit focused on getting his army out right now, plus 2 weapons, also researching for Goody. He's also got these 3 Thors coming out at a time. Thor's extremely powerful in this sort of composition. If you can add them into to some ghosts, with EMPs, they will tear apart all these sorts of units here. And Goody, very cleverly done, gets a couple of Widow Mines out and puts them in position. Does that... Ooh, that actually does. That's really nice. I had not noticed that before. But that actually is able to shoot down some of the probes that would be in this position here. And I'll be interested to see how long it takes CJherO to get rid of that. But some Hellions just poking around at the bottom of the map right now for Goody. He's just trying to sort of maintain a little bit of map control right now. And he has taken the Zelnaga Watchtower. But with those encroaching forces, they're going to take down the Hellions before they're able to really sit tight and get too much information. So CJherO really doing a good job in controlling the towers, at least this one here, but unfortunately now this one has been usurped by those mines there, so he is going to have to try and deal with that pretty quickly, at least before he gets these probes back into work. And the Hellions are going to try and bust through a storm, not able to get too much damage done on them. What are these, you know, some of these workers will go down, but not too many. And CJherO is going to be sitting in, well, he's still sitting up there at 170 supply. He's gotten started with the air tech finally. A Tempest now coming out. He can probably throw down a couple of extra Stargates once he gets a little bit more of his economy established here, especially at this base just across to the side. But I mean, he really needs to add in some of these extra DPS to armored units like the Void Rays, like you know, some of these Tempests. Of course, they don't do bonus to armored, but you know what I mean. They're good for doing extra damage from afar. And finally, Goody is going to sacrifice some of these SCVs. We're up at a count where it's a little bit of a hindrance to have too many SCVs. He is getting a couple of extra orbital commands started around the map, but these guys are not needed. You don't need 81 supply. All sort of taken up, all taken down by all of those SCVs, and he is going to send them in. And, well, a couple of Hellions going to distract CJherO for the moment, but does pull some of the forces back. Well, the SCVs are now able to get inside, and they're going to, these guys, absolute champs, going to go to work on the Forge here. Unfortunately, 3-3 weapons and everything is already done. +1 to shields is going to get started, and I don't think he's really going to be able to kill that off before it gets done. But a good attempt by some of those SCVs, and they do go down, freeing up some of that supply. And now this is where Goody says thank you for that. Going to add in 1, maybe 2, 3 more Thors, and that is going to really start boosting up my forces. So he's going to be really happy with that. Just speaking of which, the forces right now, Goody up at 7 Thors right now, 6 Hellbats, of course, and 13 tanks are in his mech mixture here in just outside his 4th and 3rd bases. He's, of course, got these extra orbital commands now for some extra scans, also mules if need be. His planetary fortress across on the left side is sitting here quite nicely. I don't know why he's building SCVs. You don't really need to build SCVs at this point. Just drop down some mules, and he should be all good with his economy. But, you know, he's good. He does what he wants. It looks like, well, the army of CJherO himself is currently looking still quite decent as well. The problem being is that there are no, like, there is only a small count of Immortals right now. We've only got... We've got 6 Immortals, we've got 5 Archons, a couple of Colossi as well, also along with some Zealots. There are Templar at the back as well, and there it is. We've finally got a Tempest coming in, and 3 Stargates have been started up, and it looks like he will try and transition across into a heavy air presence. A few more SCVs just wandering through the middle of the map, getting shot down by the Tempest from afar, and he is going to lose those, but it's still quite perplexing given that he is building SCVs over at this base, but, you know, whatever. Goody is on the move, switching over those Thors into their high-impact payload anti-air mode, which does an incredible amount of damage, and it looks like we will have a battle here right in the middle of the map. Hero is going to try and throw down some cannons before the battle begins, but the Ghost coming in, getting some snipes off on the Templar, then throwing down some EMPs as well. Very nicely done. Look at all these Protoss forces now really, really under pressure, given that their shields are gone. The Templar unable to throw down any storms or anything like that. The Tempest will have to shoot from afar, but there are still a few Vikings still up in the sky. 6 in total. They have, what do they got on their upgrades? +2 on their armor upgrades right now. They're going to be able to do a decent amount of damage against the Tempest, but I mean, Hero, he's starting to lose a lot of his ground presence here, and once the ground is gone, then the Tempest are going to be in trouble, because these Thors, as we said before, do a ridiculous amount of damage against air. Look at this, 28 damage per shot. And, well, you look at that, and it has 10 range. He is going to have to retreat for now, but I mean, that was a nice little composition from Goody, able to downsize that army of Hero for the moment. The Tempest are going to give chase, a couple of DTs and some Thors here as well. Should be able to sweep through some of these units because they are very slow. We mentioned it before, a very immobile composition here from Goody, but a very powerful one at that. And he will have to turn around. Is he going to lose this Thor? He does lose the Thor, may lose a couple of extra units here. One of the tanks going down, another Thor is also about to go down. The Tempest from afar trying to do as much damage as they can before they're forced to retreat, because the Viking fleet is now on the way. Goody able to produce a ridiculous amount of Vikings at a time. Of course, we've got, how many is it? Well, I think we've got 4, yeah. 4 reacted starports right now, giving Goody a huge amount of Vikings up in the sky. He's able to deal with some of these Tempests falling down. Look at these little bits and pieces now falling down. It is very cool, the new physics engine in Heart of the Swarm. But Goody now pushing across. I'm not sure if this is the best push or the timing for that push, but he is going to get a lot of damage done. Takes care of some more of those Tempests, along with some of these cannons that were erected in the middle of the map. And behind all of this, he's establishing a 6th base. In fact, is that... yeah, that's a 6th base, while Hero is struggling to get his own 6th base up, getting that started down here. His 5th and the 4th up to the side, looking very good right now. But the army of Goody, I was about to say Thor's aim, is really kicking in. He's now got 10 Thors out on the map. We've got a whole bunch of Vikings, 14 in total. That's a whole bunch in Duckville speak. And, you know, with this base across to the side, the 5th base, we've also got that 6th just about to get up and running. Goody is going to be in a very nice position right now, and he's even going for a 7th base just across to the right-hand side of the map. So he is going to start pushing across. Of course, he's got a lot of Thors moving now across the map. They're not in their high-impact payload mode just now, but he certainly should switch that over in just a second. He does have +3 on the armor now, just about to finish up. We'll get started with this researching. The Thor's now starting to come out. He's maxed out, and we will have a battle in the middle of the map. Tempest trying to take advantage of the terrain there, and in fact, it turns out the Goody is the one who has advantage of the terrain. The Archons and the Zealots down on the low ground, stuck in a position where they're not going to get too much done, and I think that Hero has decided it is go time. Comes towards this 7th base. The planetary fortress finishes just in the nick of not time, unable to get any real damage done, and I think we will have a base trade on our hands, with Goody now starting to push through into this southern position here. The Thors, of course, with +3 on their weapons, just doing a ridiculous amount of damage with Thor's hammer. The Mjolnir being thrown at every single building there. Hero, meanwhile, he's gone for the 3rd base. Takes it out quite quickly. Hero down to 142 supply. He's losing a lot of his workers down here. The Vikings have dropped down, knowing that they won't be needed on the ground. A couple of Thors have also ventured into the 5th base of Hero, taking that out with ease. And the production facilities are going to be in trouble here for Goody. But I think he may have the upper hand here, just given the fact he's got all these Thors out. He can drop down some mules if need be to repair some of these Thors. And while the storms do go down, the Immortals up on the top of the ramp, I don't think that Goody is going to be in too much trouble here. We've now got some Hellbats out. They'll be able to protect against all of these Zealots that are across here, not to mention the extra bases that are already established by Goody just across to the left-hand side. And while the Thor count does start to diminish, Goody is still up at 163 supply and is looking good. So the Hellbats now starting to come out. Let's see how they do against an Archon there. The battle rages across at the bottom of the natural base of Goody, and it looks like the Hellbats, with all their upgrades, are just easily able to sweep through most of those units, but the Archons will win in the end with their 323 upgrades, still just able to power their way through despite that fierce resistance from the Hellbats. And Goody, well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he has deflected this attack. Look at the units that are now just popping up inside his main base. He's got tanks, he's got Thors, he's got Hellbats, and even a Viking is there to defend against these ground forces of CJherO. But CJherO has just lost so much. He's lost his natural, he's lost all his bases. The only real mining that is going on is here at the 3rd base and of course at the 4th, but I mean that is just not enough. When you're sitting at 90 supply, some Vikings have come out, we got high impact payload and the splash damage. Thors here doing a lot of damage, and it looks like CJherO may be able to finish off the rest of these Thors. The storm going down on both of those Thors there, and he is able to clean it up, but you know, I'm not sure if there is enough here. There is going to be another push from Goody coming out very soon. He's still got a decent economy coming along here, down at 55 workers, which, you know, I would say even now that could probably go a little bit lower, just so he could add in a few more units once he gets to a little bit closer to max. But you know, he's still got all these Thors out. We've got 8 Thors out of the map, 4 tanks, some Hellbats as well, and even with a couple of Vikings, things are not going to look good here for CJherO. He has a couple of units that are now pushing across, but his economy is in tatters. He's down to 43 workers right now, and with all these Thors out, despite the Immortal and the Archons here, there is no way that CJherO is going to win this, and he agrees. He taps out, and we see a GG from CJherO. So, well played by both players. A really interesting back and forth mech TvP from Goody. Was able to get those Thors into that high count and then execute the base trade with ease. Able to defend at home given that he had those extra bases. And I'm not even sure that CJherO knew about, well, yeah, he knew about one of them right now, but he didn't know that this extra one was here. And, you know, he just sort of fell behind in his economy and his production, which led to his demise. So I hope you guys enjoyed that game. And there'll be some more games coming up very soon, so make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and say hello on Twitter and all those kind of cool things. Send me your own replays if you want, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers. Because of course, you know, when you consider that our Zerg player was actually on 86 or something like that at one point, that's quite a lot that he has to burn down before he actually makes